Hey there guys, Mike here. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is back with a pretty cool episode, I think. Especially if you're a fan of the great British film company known as Hammer Films. Now Hammer is mainly known for their horror movies, but they did all kinds of stuff. They did war movies, they did pirate movies, they did like suspense movies in the vein of, say, Hitchcock or something. But they had their own little community, their own stock company, their own writers and directors that pretty much got famous, at Hammer and focused on Hammer projects and stuff over time. So I wanted to talk about Hammer because I haven't really done a video where I've really focused on it. I may have done something in the past, but it wasn't as big as this. This is Halloween 2023, and during this month of Halloween, I've watched a lot of horror movies, a lot more than usual. I did know one thing in starting this little project at the end of September was I was definitely going to watch some Hammer films. I was going to pick up some new Hammer films that I hadn't owned before. I was definitely going to watch some Universal horror movies and also the Roger Corman Vincent Price collaborations. Always have to watch those and everything. So let's get into Hammer, and I'm going to kind of give you a run through of some of the movies I watched. The movies I watched that were Hammer, but I'm not going to go into great detail and focus on everything. But if there's a little tidbit to tell you, I'll let you know, so the video won't be so slow and everything. But these are all highly recommended and everything. No questionable ones where maybe I liked it or nothing. I really like to love all of these. So let's get right into it. A few years ago, probably 3, Mill Creek put out this set. This is a 20 film collection of Hammer movies, and it kind of does a little bit of everything. Mainly focused on horror, of course, but it's got some of their pirate movies or a war movie, all their thrillers and stuff. So I got this. And I watched a few films from this. One of them not even being a horror movie, but I watched the Pirates of Blood River. Really enjoyed that, a lot of fun. But the movies I watched off of this 20 film collection, I watched, Maniac. Of course, the Pirates of Blood River. What else did I watch? I guess I didn't watch that many off of this. Stream of Fear was another one I wanted to catch up on. But this is a good collection for anybody, especially getting into Hammer and wanting to collect the movies and everything. This is a great little starting, jumping off point. Of course, Indicator, the great UK label, have put out a bunch of box sets of a lot of these same titles and plus other ones, but those are probably the best collections to get of Hammer movies. But just an economical, good little 20 film start, I would get this one. Really good. Now this next one was a new pickup for me. This was a first time watch, first time got. A bunch of these movies, these newer ones I got for this month, are some of the Shout Factory releases that they did a few years back. And I don't know how you consider this horror or what, but it's definitely got a lot of atmosphere to it and everything. It stars Christopher Lee, and he does just a powerhouse performance in this. I mean, he looks huge in this movie. He was a tall guy, but he seems to tower over everyone in this movie. But I picked this up. This is called Rasputin, the Mad Monk. And it takes a lot of liberties with what we know about Rasputin, and some of his stuff is like, did that really happen or did it not happen? But they kind of take some of that stuff and run with it. It's a lot of fun. It's semi-historical, but I wouldn't write a book report on it or anything about them from this movie. But man, it is a lot of fun. My wife watched part of it with me, and she was just like, "Oh my God," at some point, because it's been alleged that Rasputin had like I say, a sexual appetite, and he was very popular with the women, and da 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 da. But they really take advantage of this in this thing. He's got this where he hypnotizes people, mainly the women, and he'll hypnotize them and get them to do stuff. So basically what they're telling is, in this story, is he hypnotized like the nanny of Alexei, the Russian family, and that's how Rasputin got in with the family, through hypnotism. And then once there, he works his way up and and stuff. But they take some liberties with things and stuff. But it kind of starts out with him as this busts into this little tavern. The tavern owner's wife is dying. She's basically literally on her deathbed. The town doctor just left and said, I can't do anything else. So once Rasputin can't get a drink or anything down there, he charges upstairs and basically heals the innkeeper's wife, which is a pretty cool scene. It really is. Christopher Lee is really good in that moment. Right off at the beginning of the movie, it's really, really good. Kind of, you want to feel like he's caring, like he does have a heart. He does care, and he's been like either blessed or cursed with these powers of healing. Is also a way they kind of tell that kind of story in the script and everything. But then it goes from there. You meet certain people, which he basically takes advantage of people. He's very abusive, very loud, very just chauvinistic. Everything you can think of, this guy was just this don't care about nothing. He wants every woman he can find. He loves to drink bottle after bottle of wine, and it just, they take a lot of liberty. They blow it up, but at times it's funny because he's just so over the character is over the top, but Christopher Lee is playing over the top, if that makes sense. Like he's not trying to be over the top, but what's calling for it in the script makes him like so over the top in some of these scenes, if that makes sense. But anyways, I thought it was a really good movie. I had wanted to get this for a long time. It's been in my Amazon cart for a while, and they were running like a sale on it. It was like $10 off the normal price. So I just said, heck with it, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. But yeah, really cool. It's got some really good bonus stuff on here that actually I didn't even watch because I just jumped right into the film. And it's also got 2 aspect ratios that you can watch. I watched the larger 2:3:5 format, and you can really tell watching it that it's on a very large, anamorphic, look to it and everything. And it's pretty interesting. So maybe I'll rewatch it and watch the other aspect ratio and stuff. But really, really cool. I thought it was very interesting. So, it could be semi-campy. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say, that's kind of semi-campy. But anyways, here's another great Shout release that I picked up. And I actually watched this twice. The first time I watched it, I got through half of it. And I took it out and put something else in. I wasn't bored with it, but I just wasn't feeling it at that moment. But the second time I put it in, I loved it. Really loved it. Peter Cushing stars in it. He's just great. It's got a great cast of characters. A lot of the featured players, a lot of the stock company of Hammer show up in this. Really good. It's got a young Oliver Reed. The movie I'm talking about is Night Creatures. And this is one that I got from an eBay seller that was selling 3 unopened Shout, slipcase editions that's never been opened before. And each one came with the pre-order posters that Shout would often do. And so I got that, and it wasn't unopened, you know, it was never opened or anything. So got into watching it. It's got some great special features on here. This is a new 2022 2K scan, and it looks really good. I mean, some of the people in it, you got Peter Cushing, you got Yvonne Romaine, Patrick Allen, Oliver Reed, and there's some other ones. There's still some other ones. Oh, Michael Ripper. I really liked Michael Ripper in this. He was really good. But yeah, a great little movie. It takes place, like, I want to say the 1735 or 70. It's somewhere in the 1700s. Basically, these pirates found this, like, island area they live in, and they're not out on the high seas pirating, but they're basically running a kind of a fence, you know, for stolen goods like rums and different stuff, and they kind of have these people will come and pick them up, and they basically have stuff come to them, and they have this whole facade going on. And Peter Cushing is the local vicar, the priest. It runs the church. But he's also Captain Clegg, which this was I think the name of this was Captain Clegg and something. It was also known in America or Britain as that title. It's a story that goes all the way back to the 1930s, and I think Warner Brothers did a version of it called Dr. Syn, S-Y-N. And then Disney got a hold of it, bought the rights to these. They were all based on books, and they did a version of Captain Clegg and stuff. So when Hammer did it, they couldn't call it that. They had to make some changes in the stuff so Disney wouldn't get their panties in a wad. You know what I'm saying? So, but really cool movie. You know, Peter Cushing is Captain. Was it Captain? What did I say? Clegg. I'm sorry. Anyways, really cool story. Yvonne Romaine is really good in it, and there's some cool stuff. Watching it, it was like there were some surprises. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that coming per se. So the young Oliver Reed, really interesting movie. Shout Factory did a really good job on that. Now, I found a really good deal on this movie. I had never seen it before. Once I got it home, once I got delivered and I watched it, it was like, oh, I have seen this before. But this is one of the many Dracula movies that Christopher Lee starred in you know, from late 50s into the 70s. He was back doing it again. Now, this is one of the last ones. I think there's a couple more I haven't seen. But I got this really awesome deal on this. It was like $3 free shipping. But it doesn't have a case and it doesn't have its artwork. So I was thinking, oh, kind of sucks. But I could put it with some other Dracula in the case and everything's fine. You know, I didn't know what to take a chance on it. But this is the satanic rites of Dracula. I think this was the fifth one, I believe, and it's pretty good. It's kind of what you expect for where that was at in the 70s with Hammer was kind of, you know, that was all, the glory years were coming to an end. Christopher Lee was sick of being Dracula. It was coming towards an end and everything, and I think this was a partnership with like Seven Arts, Warner Brothers, which they were briefly Seven Arts for like 3 years in the late 60s. But yeah, pretty good movie. You know, it's one of the many Dracula ones and stuff with Christopher Lee, so it's pretty good. So I got to watch that. And then this is also one of the part of that eBay seller video package I picked up with 4 movies. Now this is one of the unopened one, had the pre-order poster and everything. This is the Paranoiac, starring Oliver Reed, and really another nice collector's edition from Shout Factory with, you know, dual artwork, really nice slip case. See, in the cases of slip cases, I don't always want one, but in the case of this, where they do just its own slipcase, it's made special because it has this other artwork here and everything. So in this case of slipcases, I would want the slipcase, because it looks really cool. But this is a good movie with Oliver Reed. They're basically, this is a story that's kind of repeated from another Hammer movie. I can't remember, but they're basically trying to make the sister go crazy because when she's committed, then they'll get all the money because their parents died and left them all this money, but they're supposed to split it or something. So if there's only one child to claim the money, he's going to get it all. So that's kind of what that is. Don't want to give away spoilers in this case because there are some sharp turns on this, and you kind of see it happening, but you don't at the same time. So I don't want to really talk much about it, other than it's a really good suspenseful, good dark mystery and stuff. And Oliver Reed is pretty bananas as always in this movie. He's really good. Not talk too much about it. And then this is the other one of that sale that I got and everything. This is another great Shout Factory release with the really cool slipcase. This is called Nightmare. And so you got two different artwork there. I really enjoyed this one. I like this a lot better than the Paranoiac. This was really good. This is the other movie I was talking about. This is kind of like, is the girl crazy? She's trying to be driven mad, or is she really mad? Is she really going to be committed? And it has, all that stuff. And, is she really seeing that person? Is she hallucinating? And it's really cool. It's done a lot better in this movie than that one. I think there's even another type of movie with a similar kind of thing, having somebody committed so they can, Hammer kind of worked that a couple times and stuff. But yeah, the Nightmare was really good. I really enjoyed this one. Nice package, nice bonus stuff. And mixed up with the Hammer stuff, I added some new movies I've never seen or owned before. Hammer was famous for their versions of Frankenstein, Dracula, and The Mummy. Now this is one of the other Mummy sequels that came out. Now this is from, I believe, 1967. This is Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, which is really cool. I like that artwork on the cover. It's really cool. But yeah, otherwise it's it's just kind of standard. I mean, Mummy. It's got a reworking of the whole bringing back to life the Mummy and stuff like that. But it's got some other interesting things in it and stuff. Kind of done in a different way. It's loosely based on actually a Bram Stoker book. I'm trying to think what the name again, what that was. Oh man. Oh, The Jewel of the Seven Stars. Yeah. The Jewel of the Seven Stars. It's another lesser known, I guess you could say, Bram Stoker novel. But pretty good. It's really cool. I mean, it's hard to not watch a movie with Valerie Lee on it. I mean, she's absolutely beautiful in this movie. She's really keeps you drawn into the movie when it gets a little slow. Let's just say that. So yeah, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, pretty cool. It's a lesser Hammer, lesser of the Mummy series. And here's another one. This is another of one of the Mummy sequels, The Mummy's Shroud. And again, this is another Shout or Scream Factory. I'm sorry, I've been saying Shout, but Shout and Scream Factory are the same thing. But another really good Scream Factory release. I need to kind of check in to see how many Scream Factory releases did they do of these Hammer movies, because there's quite a few and they're all really nice. That's the thing about it. they're all based on restorations. They got really great slip covers and bonus features. And one of the interesting things in that line of Hammer Scream Factory ones is they have two different aspect ratios you can choose from. Because a lot of times they would matte the widescreen or matte the smaller ratio for bigger screens and then for television, because they were thinking about what it's going to look like on television later. So on this you got, well actually it was on this other one. Yeah, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb has got the 1:66 and the 1:85 aspect ratios. Now the other one had like a 2:35 and a like 1:66 or something like that, because 1:66 is barely wide. You know, it's closer to something that you could put on TV and it would look better, whatever. But the Mummy Shroud, kind of a lesser, even more so than the last one I showed you, but still, you know, still good. It's got Andre Morel, David Buck, Elizabeth Sellers. It's got the great Michael Ripper is in there. He's always great to watch. It's got some bonus documentaries and stuff on it. Really cool. But yeah, overall, I do recommend it. I mean, but see, I only watched it once. So maybe the more I see it, the more I'm going to enjoy it, discover stuff about it and everything. But really cool. I think one day, once I get all the Hammer mummies, I'm going to watch them all and kind of really gauge which ones are the best. Obviously, the first Mummy is the best. But anyways, there you go. The Mummy's Shroud. Now, this next one was a really cool discovery. This is another first-time viewing, first-time purchase of this Hammer title. Now, this was I want to say it's a German release. This is through Studio Canal. Now, Studio Canal released quite a few Hammer titles also in the mid-2000s and stuff. And then eventually Scream Factory did, and but this is one of those. It's got the slipcase still. Plague of the Zombies. It's really cool. And it's a dual Blu-ray DVD combo and everything. But I really enjoyed this one, Plague of the Zombies. I thought the makeup was really good. Kind of had a weird story. This one's also got Andre Morel in it. Diane Clare, John Carson, and directed by John Gilling, which I think he directed this. Yeah, he directed The Mummy Shroud 2. Did he do that other one? No, that was Seth Holt. But anyways, Plague of the Zombies, really good. It's kind of going back to the movies like White Zombie and I Walked with a Zombie, where it's kind of like in Haiti. It's in a Caribbean island setting, and in this case, like White Zombie, the zombies are running this mill. Guys like killing people and making them his own zombies and A lot of fun though. A lot of fun. Really enjoyed this movie. Even though the concept, has been done a few times, but this time it's in color. It is in color, I believe. Yeah, Technicolor. And really cool. I enjoyed it. Plague of the Zombies. And as we're coming around to the very end of some of the Hammer movies, I mean, you must admit, I did watch a lot of Hammer movies. I didn't watch all the best ones or anything like that. A lot of these were new upgrades. I mean, new to me watches and stuff, and everything. Now this next one I'm going to show it's a rewatch. It's very good, and everything. But at the same time, I watched other horror movies the same month, so I was watching a lot of horror movies. So I couldn't really just focus on Hammer only. But the next release, this is another beautiful Scream Factory release. God, they just really knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, with their whole series of them. This is Dracula, Prince of Darkness. This is the third in the Dracula. I thought it was the second one, but I think not Dracula's daughter, or is it? that one, the Brides of Dracula was actually the second one. But I think Christopher Lee's not even in it. So technically this is the second one, more or less. But this is a really nice release. It's got a cool slipcase with dual artwork. I know I have to keep moving my glasses, but yeah, it's got that, original poster look there. Very good. Very good movie. This is the 4K scan. You got some episodes of The World of Hammer, the TV show. It's got some documentaries on this. But this was directed by the great Terrence Fisher. He did all the best Hammers, in my opinion. Anthony Nelson Keys, he produced a lot of Hammer movies, a lot of the good ones too. Screenplay by John Sansom, and it's based on a Ideal by John Elder, based on the character from Bram Stoker. But yeah, this has got Christopher Lee, the lovely Barbara Shelley, Andrew Keir is in this one. He was in The Mummy's Shroud. Francis Matthew, a couple other faces that you know. But yeah, really good. This is really cool. It's like there's a monk who's kind of the Van Helsing in this movie, and he helps the little town out and stuff. But man, this is one of the best Hammers, one of the best of the Dracula series, and everything. And it's a really nice release. And it from the last time I checked, it's still pretty economical to pick up, I believe. So there you go. And finally, guys, we're going to stay in Dracula territory again. Now, this is one of the... now, this was a British release. This is Region B. And this has a absolute ton of stuff, in my opinion, on this. But this was through Lionsgate, and Hammer, possibly Studio Canal, based on the Hammer restoration. But anyways, guys, this is the first Dracula, and this is actually a 3-disc set. It's got 3 discs. I think it's got 2 DVDs and a Blu-ray. So it took 2 DVDs to get all the bonus stuff on there, and it's all on the Blu-ray. But really cool. It's a weird. You have to kind of do your homework to find this one, because that's what I did. And it's got all this really cool stuff on here. On the Blu-ray, of course, you got two choices. You can either watch the 2007 BFI restoration, or you can watch the 2012 Hammer restoration. And it's got some new audio commentary and then special features. But it's got a really good Dracula documentary. Some really good documentaries, actually. It's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to read it all off, but it's a lot of good stuff on there. But yeah, this one, it's interesting that they show the 2 different restorations, the 2007 and 2012, and they both look slightly different. So you can really make a decision on which one you want to watch, because they do look slightly different. I think my decision, what I chose after watching them, was I think I liked the 2007 BFI better for some reason. And I believe they put back the deleted scene at the end where Dracula is decomposing under the sunlight and everything. They found a Japanese print, uncut Japanese print of it, and they put the scene back in there and everything, and it looks cool and stuff. But yeah, I think it was the 2007 that I preferred. They both look really good though. I'm just trying to think of why did I think that one was better. But anyways, this is a great release. It is Region B, so you got to have an all-region player. But man, this is one of those cases where this is a reason to get a all-region player, because it just gives you those choices, it just has those different things that you're not getting on the domestic releases and stuff. So it's really one of those movies that, you know, get the new player, because I mean, this is a really cool release. I've come back to it a couple of times. It's also known as something else in the U.S. That was the there was a U.S. and a British release of it and everything. And of course, you know, the U.S. they were both edited and everything, but they have different titles, so that there's some confusion there. So you got to look for Dracula. I think, what was it, 1958, and go from there. But I think it's a really good release, and I really enjoyed it. So there you go, guys. That's all my Hammer movies that I've just watched this month, this year. I got a ton of Hammer stuff. I just love Hammer. What I really love about it is being able to discover these movies as a collector. You know, it's like, oh, today I picked up this one and this one, you know, and I got so many more to go. You know what I mean? So it makes you, you know, like, this is why I collect. This is why I love movies, and this is why I collect physical media, you know, and everything. It kind of solidifies that reasoning as a collector. You know, it's just the Hammer series. It's just really cool to collect and get them all and watch them and stuff. And I've rediscovered those movies, you know, getting these releases, you know, these physical media releases and stuff, because I've seen a lot of them beforehand, years and years ago. But anyways, blah 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 blah. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to comment. Let me know a little bit more. If I'm just talking horse poop, then let me know that I'm inaccurate. You know how I do. I turn the camera on and I just try to remember what I'm talking about off the top of my head. I usually make film flubs. I usually mispronounce names. I have brain farts all the time, but that's the way I roll on my channel. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a happy Halloween. You probably see this afterwards. So anyways, hope you had a happy Halloween and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later with another video. Cheers.